Alright, there's a subject I've been wanting Geekvolution to kind of talk about. I watched a video I'm pretty sure it's the video they were trying to point out to me that they had done on this subject, but they didn't really cover it in how I wanted them to cover it. So, I'm going to cover it here. A Batman live action TV show. Now, we've had a Superman live action TV show in Lois and Clark. The first and second seasons are probably the two best. Unfortunately, they kind of lessened in quality after a while, because I think the main problem for that was that they downgraded the character of Lex Luthor, and unfortunately they ended up killing him off, which was really not smart. And they kind of brought him back once a season, but yeah. Anyway, that's that. I think a live action Batman would kind of work. And I'll point out some things that I would do. I think I may have done a video on this and just not put it up at some stage, but here's how I do it. The first episode, you kind of introduce the Joker, because he's going to probably be your key villain in every season. You'll probably try and do one villain in each season, and you only do the origin for about half of them. Don't handle how they came about with flashbacks some of the time. Use Batman Begins as kind of your blueprint of how Batman came to be. Handle that in kind of flashbacks, I think, on the odd occasion. Yeah. And the last season cliffhanger would be the Two-Face. Harvey Dent would be, throughout the first season, helping out Batman in some way or another. Cliffhanger ends similar to how in the animated series they introduced Harvey Dent. Now, I'm thinking you're looking at probably 12 episodes for your first season, and probably the network to put this on would probably be Sci-Fi. They did cover that with the Geekvolution video that they did. They said, look, it'd probably work best on Sci-Fi. Vince seemed to think it was some channel called Star. Unfortunately, I don't know what that is, because I live in Australia, so anyway. HBO would probably be the other one. I mean, come on, they do Boardwalk Empire, and most of that is CG. I think if you handled it minimalistically, like Captain Logan said in his video, do it like that. And I think the better way to do it would be kind of do it as a detective show, forensics thing like NCIS, CSI, something along those lines, except the detective just happens to be Batman, or / Bruce Wayne. For your second season, I would try to start to introduce Robin and do a few, and do it over about 5 episodes. Introduce him. One episode you see his parents die. He gets brought into Wayne Manor in one episode, and you go from there. And you don't fully introduce him as Robin until the end of that season, and you have a cliffhanger there with another with different villain. Like, try and have a cliffhanger with a different villain each season. Like, say the first one, like I said, first season is with Two-Face being his origin. Do that in the season ended for that, and maybe do it with the Joker in the next season. Then have one with like Catwoman or Penguin or something like that. Do like a their epic two-parter. Like, even do the Killing Joke. It would be a good one to do, but don't do it exactly like the comic book. Just use that as your blueprint. Okay. And I'm not talking about the origin of Joker in that one. I'm talking about the speech he gives over the loudspeaker in the Hall of Mirrors or whatever it is, the Funhouse that Joker does, where he does that great speech about how close they've come to how close we've come to World War III over a flock of geese, and that the reason for World War II was how much money that Germany owed in its war reparations or something. And he's, why can't you see the funny side? Why aren't you laughing? That's a great speech. That would be the only thing I would take from The Killing Joke and that bit and the kidnapping of Commissioner Gordon. How I'd handle Batgirl would probably be its own little thing, and it'd be very similar to Robin. I'm not sure how I'd incorporate all the other ones of Batman's friends, but another one I'd introduce is first season Robin. The first season you bring in Robin, you do another season where he starts to pull away from Batman. And then you end with Nightwing, and then bam, you got a spin-off. Batman's great for doing spin-offs. Like, you could have like heaps of them, literally heaps of spin-offs of Batman, like Nightwing. I'm sure that there's more. I'm sorry, I'm only just getting into Batman comics, so I'm sure that like the Birds of Prey. There's another one. I know that they've already done a season of that, but do it differently. I guess would be the only thing I'd do it. How other storylines I'd love to see. Hell, there's a whole heap that are in the animated series alone. I'd love to see just done more seriously. I don't know how that you would ever do Clayface. It's the only thing I would never know. I never know how you would do that. I think the only way to kind of do it would be similar, not exactly the same, but how they did Odo on Deep Space Nine is the only way I would remotely see how doing it. I don't know. Unfortunately that's the one thing I don't know how you do. I do it, like I said, I'll do it as a detective show, similar to the the way they did it with the animated series. Just do it and expand it to 1 hour. Wouldn't be able to do it have it like in a 1 hour serious crime drama, and you can have some comedy on the odd occasion. I mean, that would be interesting as well. Yeah, I'm just trying. Sorry, I'm trying to think of more. I wouldn't mind seeing them do the Long Halloween arc. I wouldn't mind seeing them do Nightfall. I'm sure if Captain Logan's watching this, he's probably going to say they should do. What's the? Sorry, he mentions this so many times. The one after Nightfall. What's it called? No Man's Land. Yes, that's the one. No Man's Land. I'm sure he wants to see them in some shape or form do No Man's Land, and I'm sure he'd want it in a 5-episode arc. I haven't seen it, but I have read I've read synopsises about it, and it sounds like a great idea to do. Yeah, I'd just love to see it, 1 hour, 1 hour crime drama type Batman show, detective type thing. I think that would work, and I think if you use that as a springboard to introduce other Batman type villains, or even spring off and do more spin-offs, and then hopefully you can get. I'm hoping you'd be able to get at least 5 seasons out of it, and at least, and then you can get 5 seasons out of all your spin-offs. How I'd like to see it end, if there were one. I mean, this is just. I'd like to see it end in a situation where you started with Batman and Joker in the first one, and just have it end with Batman facing up with his friends or whatever. Probably appear in a few episodes if there's spin-offs, with maybe doing Under the Red Hood. One is saying is, I mean, you wouldn't. You'd have to do that after about like 10 seasons. You would have to do the Death in the Family. I'd love to see them do that, but you wouldn't be able to do that right away. You'd have to do that at maybe season 6 and end it, and then in the last season, which would be season 10. This is assuming you could get 10 seasons out of it. Assuming you could, season 10 do Under the Red Hood, and have Batman, Joker, and the Red Hood die in some sort of explosion, and you leave it open to maybe they're not dead, and maybe you could scram up a couple of TV movies afterwards if you could. I mean, it's assuming you could do it, because by then you'd have a really old Batman. say he's 28 there, he'd be 38 there, and maybe even if you manage to get that and you figure out a way that Batman survives that big explosion, do a live action mini movie about the Dark Knight Returns. Yeah, let's do it. Anyway, that's just my thoughts on how I would do it. If you post some comments and all that with this, I'm going to put this as a response video to the Geekvolution video that was done a year ago, so I don't know how many people are going to see this. I'm sure a couple of subscribers on my channel will. I'm hoping that people will see this, but I think that's just a good idea to do a Batman live action TV series. Use Batman Begins as a blueprint for your origin. Not exactly, but that just because it's been done perfectly. You don't want to go through the whole origin again. I mean, unless you're doing it in flashbacks. I think that's the only way you could probably do it. With that, like, not straight off, because that, I mean, you'd be going over territory that someone's already going over, and if you've got a successful show already, you might be able to do it with a flashback in 1 or 2 episodes showing it. But yeah, I don't think I'd want to see the origin done again, because it's already been done perfectly. And as far as the Joker goes, I'm not strictly attached to the origin done with the Nolanverse. I actually do like the origin in the '89 Batman a bit better, but I like the Joker in the Dark Knight. So if you could get the origin of the Joker in there at some point, do it like the '89 Batman, and do the Heath Ledger Joker. So that's how I kind of think of it. As far as all the other characters, I like their comic book versions a lot better than how they've been done in other films. You know. Anyway, again, I'm going to say goodbye here. I'm actually going to do that. So please subscribe, leave comments. I'm always interested to see what people say, even if they're not nice. And do all those things. If you're a wrestling fan, join the Four Corners Alliance. That's what's called now. On Facebook, I often post videos in there. If you're Australian and like Star Trek, join the Oz Trek thing. I'm a member there. Not an admin, so yeah. There's quite a few groups. Oh, and if you're a wrestling fan, Raw Impact, like that Facebook page. I'm an admin there, along with another friend of mine. Post stuff there. I occasionally do. I haven't been kind of slacking off there. So that's it. Stay tuned for another interesting video I'm going to do later on. Sorry for no random Sunday vlog, by the way. I'm just going to have to skip out this week. I may do another one later on, but consider this your video for the week.